All right, well, Scott, thank you very much. I've got a question for everyone here. Why is it provocative to believe the Constitution means what it says? How is that provocative in the United States of America, the land of liberty, to believe we have the rights contained in that document? Is it bizarre to any of the rest of you that the media would like to paint those of us who believe in freedom, free market, limited government, that makes you extreme? I happen to believe that those that disagree with that statement are extreme. Now, history has a tendency to repeat itself, and not every time is the same, but the times tend to reflect some time ago, something you remember. I watched last night our debate. I watched it at the Reagan Presidential Library. We've got a photograph in our home of President Reagan in our bar area that I picked up after my first ever job interview out of high school, waiting in a lobby. I saw a photograph of Ronald Reagan in a U.S. News and World Report, and as a 17-year-old, I contacted the magazine, bought the photograph, and that proudly sits in my home to this day. But as I watched that, I remembered a speech as I was probably 14 at the time, and Ronald Reagan saying to the country, not just are you better off than you were 4 years ago, there were several questions, but it does come to mind. You can't blame an elected official for what he gets from the person he inherited the situation from. But all of us have to be judged by what did we do with the time we were given. I'm here as your county supervisor, having evidently said some provocative things like I work for you, your money is to be treated with respect. But I'm here to endorse a man that I want to see as our next president, because I believe that there's a beautiful comparison between the man in the Oval Office today and what he's done with the time he was given from the man he inherited it from, and the gentleman that fits inside the supervisory office of the state of Texas, the governor's mansion, and his business desk. What has he done in the last 4 years? We're from California. How many of us believe that we would be far better off if we were just as well off as Texas has been in the last 4 years? We could use a little Rick Perry in California, and we're about to get some. Obama must go. And as you saw all of those people on the stage, I was so proud of Governor Perry, Governor Romney, the rest of them. It's very obvious to me, as a county supervisor, I decided to step out early because I know we cannot continue to fight amongst ourselves. I appreciate former Speaker Newt Gingrich making that clear point. All of us need to encourage these candidates. We are not interested in them bludgeoning each other in the primary system.
That's right.
We have good men and a good woman up there, and they will appeal to us, and we will make a decision. But whoever survives this primary, we are going to get behind. All of our candidates are going to get behind, and we are going to take back our White House from the man that is abusing it right now. Ronald Reagan asked more questions than just, are you better off, 4 years ago in that speech. He also asked, is there more or less employment in the United States than there was 4 years ago? Now, he was referring to the 70s, but I ask you a question. Barack got what he inherited. Are we better off than when he took over? What about the last 4 years in Texas? Are they better off in the last 4 years? Better off than virtually everybody in the country. What's unique about Texas? Governor Perry didn't invent Texas, but he certainly took what that state has to offer and provided some leadership. Showed them that jobs, which, let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what issue is your prime issue, what you love and care about, if you cannot provide a home for your family, food for your family, by having a job and an income in this country, there are very few things that we as American people are going to accomplish. Everything revolves around the economy. And we have had a gentleman in the White House for the last 4 years that has so little understanding of our economy, I fear that my children's class could very well teach a lesson to the President of the United States as to how to respect small business people and what they mean to this country. When we look at small business people, my parents, and I'll get to my dad in a moment, small business people, which are most of us, are the backbone of what made this country great and will continue to make it great. I hearken you back to 2008. You remember the name Joe the Plumber? That was a warning sign. Joe the Plumber, playing football in the street with his kid, just wanted to ask a potential nominee, what will happen to me? I've got a business I want to buy. They make more than $250,000 a year. We should appreciate President Obama's honesty in reminding him that he was ultimately going to feel the scorn of the federal government. I ask you, Rick Perry meets that man on the street today. What are the odds he embraces him and asks how he can help him, not blame him in the national media for the nation's ills? Is America more respected than it was 4 years ago? I suggest to you that with Rick Perry at the helm, you give him the 3 years President Obama has had, we're going to have a different tenor around the world. A person that respects his own people is more likely to be respected by the rest of the world. Anybody here support the Second Amendment?